Hey, welcome back. Darren and Shawn here, and we are back again with IVAN2104, which is, as you may know, our 1991 Lotta Signet wagon project car. And this is a project update because you've not seen a lot out of Ivan recently for very good reason. Now, the last time you may have seen this, we had a little Facebook and Instagram teaser where Shawn was demonstrating the wicked and awesome Drift Pro Stick shifter from Lotta Moscow. However, as part of the installation process in that, Shawn had to remove parts of the interior, mainly the chairs, to get access to plumb in some of the brake lines we were hoping to do and bring that whole project to you. However, when Shawn removed the chairs, he also noticed there's some wet spots in the floor, so then he removed the carpet and the underlay. And under that, Shawn found awesomeness.
Yeah, real great awesomeness.
So Shawn found rust. And this Lotta, as you know, is no stranger to rust. Shawn has gone through, and previously last year, 2 years ago, we have brought you rust repair videos, which are very informational and not very interesting to watch. So as we've been patching things up in Ivan over the years, we haven't really filmed them or documented them. But rest assured, there's been a lot of little passing repairs as we went on. This one is not as bad as the rockers, but it's still pretty bad.
Part of it's because we don't actually have any formed repair pieces for this, because this was unplanned. So I'm gonna have to build everything.
So rather than talking about it too much more, we're gonna cut to Shawn on the inside and he's gonna walk you through what he's found. And for you Lotta guys who've done this yourselves, this will look very familiar. For anyone new who's never taken the carpet out of a Lotta and looked around, this will be staggering.
As you can see, there is a significant chunk of metal cut out of this thing. When I lifted the carpet, it didn't look that bad. It looked like a small little rust spot about yay big. Then I got tapping away with a hammer. And the more I tapped, the more I found. And the more I ground and tapped, the more I found. So I started cutting out the obvious rusty bits. It became this big, up into here. I've got more to cut out back in here. I'm all the way down to here. And I've got to cut out some more up here and in here too. I just haven't done that yet. But I don't have any of these pieces ordered, so I'm going to have to form everything, including this support structure. It is rotten through in like 5 places. So I have to hand build that. We're going to modify the wheel wells a bit, give some more room for the pedals. It's not really a bad thing. We get to do some modifications as well as repairs all in one shot. We just didn't want to do it all right now.
So, as you can see, from what Shawn pointed out, we've got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. That pun always shows up. But anyway,
a lot of rust, it really worked.
Lot of rust. But anyway, let's get to it. Look at the enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yay.
I coach Shawn on his enthusiasm.
Go team.
Anyway, hard cut. Shawn's over there drawing and mocking up stuff. I'm going to show off Shawn's new toy. We went to Princess Auto, which is the Canadian equivalent of Harbor Freight. And I think Clark Tools for those of you in the UK. Basically, it's Chinese offshore tools at rock bottom prices, good for at least one use, sometimes more. So Shawn's really proud of these. He got a vise-mounted sheet metal brake or bender. And here's a couple of test runs on it so far, and it does 90-degree bends rather smartly, which is way better than Shawn trying to form them by hand. So he's over there eagerly drawing up a template to start bending up.
Eager about it.
Yeah, you're eager. You're really happy to be doing it because you bought this tool right here and you want to try it out.
Sure.
Right. I'm still coaching Shawn on outgoing optimism for the videos. Outgoing optimism. He's still working on that. He's trying really hard though. People, comments down below, let him know what a great job he's doing about being optimistic and outgoing when it comes to bodywork.
We had to do some more cutting, more than we really wanted to again. Once we removed the main structure piece there, we found, as you can see, we have some more rust holes. Not much, but just enough that if we see rust, we got to cut it out, especially when it goes through. So give that yeah, really greatly attached. Now, let's build this piece first.
So Shawn finally got his first piece out for templating, and we've got our brand new steel. That's a $50 chunk of steel. Perhaps not cheap anymore. But Shawn's going to walk you through how to do templating, because I just told you guys that's what he's going to do. Shawn, can you talk people through doing templating?
Well, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can either use a tape measure, measure out in pieces. You measure out the first bend, see how wide it is, mark it down. Then you measure your next bend, mark it down. Measure your third, mark it. You draw it all out, you cut your main body, and then you bend along the lines. The other way you can do it is you can use a micrometer, or digital caliper, or manual caliper. Set your width, scribe it out. Set your width, scribe it. You can do it that way. Or if you want to do it the other way, you can take a Bristol board or any chunk of thick paper, and you can lay it out, you can draw it on, lay out your pieces individually, draw it all out, then cut and bend. Either three ways do all the same job, just depends on which way you like to do it.
Which one are you going to do?
Probably the tape measure way.
I was hoping to see calipers dragged.
We'll do that, I got them over there.
See, that's peer pressure in the shop. Let's do it a cool way, because it looks cool. Like it looks cooler. It makes way better video when someone's using precision tools for stuff that doesn't need to be at all.
Twist my rubber arm.
All that precise. You're live. You're live. You're live.
Oh, the pressure. The pressure. Let's even mark it. It will kind of. We're going to have to put some paint on there.
So normally you'd have layout blue, but we don't have any. So we're just going to mark in with some paint marker. You can use ink, you can use Dykem, Prussian blue, whatever you got. This is what we have.
Tire chalk, really, if you wanted.
Yeah, tire chalk would work.
Any of them. So, we have calipers. These are kind of spiffy old ones. Made in Germany in 1924. Found them in an old toolbox. So, first thing we do, we measure our first bend for width. Set the calipers for the first bend. Lay it out, come against the edge, and just run it along. You see it leaves a mark. Then the next bend is going to be tricky because it's tapered. So what we're going to have to do on this one is mark one end, then we'll mark the other, and then we'll just have to join it with a marker in the middle. No real options in that.
And that is how you use calipers to scribe into metal. However, our layout blue was garbage. Shawn's not satisfied with it, so he's doing it the old-fashioned way of measure, mark, measure. You know, it's the same thing. It involves precision tools from ye old time. It just also uses a very grubby tape measure.
It's a very high-tech tape measure. Come on now.
Anyway, the function's the same. We're going to lay this piece out, and then we'll jump to when we put it in the bender. And hand jump cut. These are really popular on YouTube for some reason. Jump cut. I don't know if that worked. Yay! We're here. Anyway, Shawn's got his stuff marked off, and he wants to play with the cool new metal bender, which is literally just in the bench vise.
It's a chunk of metal in a vise. It's pretty cool.
Give us a rundown.
We have some hardened end there, and we have a 90-degree cut in another piece. You put it in, line it up with the mark, close the vise, and it's supposed to bend it. We're going to see how well it actually works. You're going to find out the same way we do because we've never used it before, besides a couple trial pieces.
Well, we've made trial bends, but we've never tried to make a bend on purpose in one spot.
Not where we actually need it.
It's working.
It's bending. It's a boat.
Click. Torque wrench click, right?
Clicky clicky. It's actually pretty damn decent.
That's not bad.
No, right on the line. Like,
yeah, that looks pretty good. $30 piece.
yeah, it's amazing actually.
9 put-in fingers in bench vise and close.
Oh, that would be bad. Yeah, do not recommend.
So what Sean's doing is transferring his marks because he has to flip it around the other way because he only marked the one side because, well...
Well, this is the easiest way when you're trying to cut out the pieces.
Righto. So, can you go 2 for 2? You've got to get 3 for 3 to get this correct.
No, we only get 2 bends on this.
Oh, yes. Well...
The other pieces are going to be the multiples.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's...
And this one here is a taper bend as well, so we're not doing a perfect straight. It's actually a little bit crooked because this piece does taper down. All right, not bad. Did you get it?
Yeah, I think.
Right, let's check our homework.
Oh no, it's backwards. It's not really. Look at that.
So, there you go.
Like, bang on.
Yeah, that's not too bad. The things you and a bench vise can do.
Hell yeah.
Sean's probably going to square that up and
One thing with that whole tapered bit is it does, where's the tapered, it skews the way this is going to take a little bit.
There's a little bit of edge massaging due to the taper, but really that's not too bad for just going from flat steel to a patch panel for a frame rail.
No, it's pretty good.
So we'll fit this up, we'll get it in. We'll show you guys what that looks like maybe. Not bad, not bad. Things are going all right. Go. Look at that lighting. This is studio grade stuff. So we're underneath IVAN2104 and we're looking up at the really cool spot that Sean's working on, and one of the things we have to do is rework the inner wheel well, or the inner fender, however you want to call it.
On both sides.
On both sides, physically the metal. So we'll take a look at the easy side first because Sean has fitted something a little bit out of the ordinary here and we need to make room. So Sean's going to demonstrate our clearance issue. We have the inside of our tire. No big deal. And Sean's going to demonstrate the point of contact.
See, not so bad.
And
we have a problem.
There it is. So Sean is actually going to take that whole part and he's going to build it back by using the pieces of pre-curved metal we bought, which are
trailer fenders.
Trailer fenders, right? Yeah. So that's the whole reason why we're doing that. We're literally going to be moving the whole inner wheelhouse, which you may not have realized is part of the passenger compartment. That is how compact the front of this vehicle is. Your tire is literally inches away from your clutch pedal foot, right up there. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a big project, but why do small things?
I did this one to myself. I've been wanting to do this for a while and I knew this was coming.
Yeah, so you'll see that in a little bit. What are you scrutinizing?
Where I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna take the plasma cutter, cut from here down along here, cut this section out, cut out of here, maybe some in here, and then probably pull that out.
Solid plan. Go just like that. What's that noise again? All right.
That's a plasma cutter
noise.
That's
a plasma cutter noise for those of you following along at home.
That's right. And then we will use our trailer fender and we'll stick it in there and go.
It'll be just like that.
Yep.
Seriously, that quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
In video time, yes.
It's going to take us hours, but luckily, you guys will see the time lapse. Let's cut to a time lapse. time-lapse. Now let's check in with Shawn and see exactly what he's done to IVAN2104. Shawn, what'd you do?
I cut a hole in the floor.
I see that.
We have clearance.
So is this braking improvement? You can just push your foot down on the tire to stop us, or what?
This is to make sure I can hit the apex in the corner. I can see exactly where wheel placement is, mid-corner.
Right.
Yeah, we're not actually going to put metal back in here. It's all going to be plexiglass so I can see what's happening up front.
Valuable modification indeed.
Also, mid-race, we'll be able to monitor brake pad life.
Wow, that's a lot of cutting.
We got to trim this back a bit too.
So how close is it? Give it a little sweep there. Oh, that is very close. Yeah. So that inner fender is definitely not the only thing that was in the way.
No, we've got to remove more. Luckily, it's easy to remove more.
Well, yeah, it's always easy to remove stuff.
Yeah. This is a little more than I was expecting, though. I will admit, this is more cutting than I was expecting.
Where are you going to put your feet once we tub that back in?
Well, the feet all go here, and I can make a chunk of this be in closer and flatter so we can have more pedal room. But not a lot goes over there. The wheel well will be the dead pedal.
Yeah, it'll definitely be the dead pedal, all right. You'll be able to hear every rock that hits the paddle. Wow.
That's the cost going fast.
Okay, so the next step we've got is to modify our trailer wheel arches, which we bought mainly because they already have a curve and they're fairly thick gauge material. So it gives us a start because we don't have an English wheel and panel beating by hand is kind of a pain. So the next sequence should hopefully show Shawn trying to make these fit into that gaping hole he's just made. That's a lot of work. Shawn, you caused yourself a lot of work.
I know. I hate doing this shit, but this was completely my idea.
Yeah, I kind of voted against it, but I was. So
You did not vote against it.
I would never suggest this. I would never say, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
You helped pick up the wheel.
Anyway, jump cut. Another successful time lapse, which brings us up to date where we are right now. Shawn has taken the trailer wheel well behind me, and he's literally just thrown it in place with some vice grips, and he's pretty pleased. What do you think? Look at the enthusiasm. We didn't even have to coach him with that one. So that is a uncut trailer wheel well, just mocked up into position. And based off of Shawn's cut once, measure never,
Yeah.
that went really, really, really close.
Yeah, we have to trim some things, and this is going to get changed and turned. We have to cut it down, and it probably won't stick out quite this far. It'll probably stick about here. But we can put that in place, then we can flatten this floor well out here, and it's going to give us more room for the pedals for people with big feet. We may even be able to make this thing so we can heel toe it.
Well, that would be a benefit because that does not heel toe at all.
No. If we can maneuver these pedals and give room to actually be able to heel toe this thing, that's going to make a big difference.
Let's take a look at the wheel well on the other side. Okay, so here's our look from the other side. This is obviously going to be trimmed back, and everything's going to be cut and massaged into place.
All this angle is going to come off on this side. Some of this will be left, but we got to put the wheel on, see where things fit. But it'll be lopped about here and recessed and changed and rotated, of course.
But yeah, you're extremely pleased with how well those wheel wells fit, considering they're
$30 trailer wheel wells from Princess Auto, and they're actually going to do the job.
Yeah, that's going to save a lot of fabrication time. So as you can see, Shawn's face is very dirty. My hands are slightly dirty. So that means it's a successful day. And we're going to close out for the night because we stay up till midnight. We won't do it tomorrow. So we're going to get back at it another time. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you again later. Bye.